Yeah, we can get right into it, guys.
Sounds good. Go ahead, Brett. All right, Coach, you as the defensive coordinator here, your few practices in the spring, how's it going?
It's going good. There's been highs and there's been lows. We could be more consistent as a defense, I feel like. Today, for example, there was 2 or 3 periods we felt like we had the upper hand on the offense, and then there was 2 or 3 where we felt like they had the upper hand themselves. And so for us, we just want to make sure that we're being more consistent and doing the little things right, but the simple things right. The ABCs, we're getting those accomplished. If they hit us on a trick play or something of that nature, then that is what it is. Those are going to happen sometimes. We'll coach that up on the run. But right now, we just want to be more consistent with stopping the run and defending passes on first and second down.
What's your impression of what you got to work with as you come into this program?
Good. I thought our staff did a tremendous job going out in a short period of time and filling a lot of spots. And a lot of the young men that we brought in we're really excited about. And so look forward to working with those guys for the rest of spring.
Who are some of those guys that you're excited about?
Yeah, I'd say up front some guys maybe that flashed today were Christian Lorenzo, Terrell Washington, Justin Benton. Aaron Alexander's had a really good first 4 days, as well as Ced Roberts. In the back end, Brandon Jones and Tay Seymour probably been the 2 most consistent guys. Corner-wise, Peyton Taylor's really flashed. So those are some guys right there, but there's probably plenty others I'm not thinking of.
You guys bring back Samaje Burrell, Chase Canada, a few of those guys from this last year's team.
Yes, sir.
And what have you kind of seen from them, and how have they kind of been able to help you guys implement this defense?
Yeah, Chase has been great, man. I think we've gotten the best version of Chase the last 4 practices. He's been a demon on special teams. He's showed up in competition periods on special teams. Defensively, he's really been mirroring receivers and doing a really good job in tough situations and one-on-one situations, competing there. And so I've been really pleased with him. And then, with his lay of the land and that corner room with a lot of new guys, he's been able to kind of help them transition.
Coach, for you personally, leading Baylor, what was kind of so attractive about this job at UNT?
Yeah, well, I think there was 3 teams in Group of 5 that finished in the top 25, right? And this place was one of them, so it shows what type of success that you can have right here at UNT. 1 game shy of being in the college football playoffs, right? And so you can do that here. You're in the state of Texas, right? Which I'm from Texas, so that it means a lot to me and my family that we can be close to our family. And then you just look in the DFW right here and how this place is growing and booming and where North Texas has been and where North Texas is going. It's like the saying right now, better look north, right? So.
You guys had a lot of recruits on campus junior day this past weekend. Coming in, this is a really transfer-heavy class, obviously, in this first year. But how do you guys want to keep on approaching this high school level?
Yeah, we want to do an excellent job. We want to lead Group of 5 in terms of recruiting in the state of Texas. And so we know we're a little behind with a brand new staff, and there's some other staffs that maybe have a leg up. But we've been working tirelessly, trying to make sure that we evaluate all the juniors to be seniors, and then we're going to kind of switch gears and then kind of go evaluate some of the younger guys come spring ball. We've had a lot of really good players on campus, guys with P4 offers, guys with G5 offers, guys with no offers that we felt like were kind of diamonds in the rough. But high school recruiting is going to be really important for us because even though we did it, we don't want to every year, flip a brand new team. And so the way you do that, is by bringing in, high school guys and working that developmental aspect of the program.
And speaking of high school, you guys brought in Ray Gates from North Crowley, one of the more prominent schools in the entire country. How important is he on this defensive staff especially?
Unbelievably important. Yeah, I know we just came off talking about recruiting, and he's a huge importance there, just with his impact, in high school football so far in the state of Texas during his career. But, he's an unbelievable coach as well, great motivator, and he's going to be a great asset for us defensively.
How would you describe your defense?
Yeah, very, very good question. We're multiple. A lot of times you'll see us out there today and, kind of 4-2-5 structure. We also got the ability to move to a 3-4 and play in our odd package a good bit. For us and our 3-down to our 4-down stuff, we can stem to it, we can move to it, we can just align in it. And so that's, kind of front structure wise and kind of, whole lay of the land wise, that's kind of where it's at. Coverage wise, we play multiple coverages as well. So we'll be split safety and play some quarters and cover two, but we'll also play some man and cover three also. So we'll try to deny the ball when needed, and we'll try to be zone vision, zone break as a mixer, as a changeup. And, we're pretty aggressive in terms of the way we want to attack and bring bullets from different areas.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that because some of the guys that have come in already in spring have said that this is a really aggressive style of defense. Is that what you thrived with in the past, and how do you implement that?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, right, everything's kind of calculated, per se. It's more like a sniper shot as opposed to, shotgun approach, unless you see kind of what hits. But sometimes there's a place for that as well. And so a lot of things are kind of built in, whether it's with checks or based off the formation or based off this or that, to keep us in a good play call. And so our guys have done a really good job of learning that stuff, and I'm really pleased with where we're at right now.
You guys obviously a lot of position group battles that will happen this spring, but the most notable one, especially bringing in people, is the cornerback room, the defensive backs. How difficult for you or this whole defense staff will it be to kind of find those right guys going into fall and eventually season?
Yeah, I think the competition's good. It pushes everybody across the board. I think what we want to do is we want to see who can do what, in terms of the scheme. And that's a little bit why maybe the heavy install during springtime. But we also want to see what people's skill set are, what they're good at, So it's a little bit about what they can handle mentally, but a lot of it is, hey, what are they, where are they really adequate in, physically. And so I think at some point in time, it's kind of an assessment for us in terms of, okay, this is kind of where we need to go scheme-wise. We're not going to try to fit the players into the scheme. It's going to be more, let's try to fit the scheme around the players, And that's one of the advantages of being multiple, is you can kind of do that. If it was, oh man, we missed, in this portal recruiting, and this is what we do and this is what we know, and that's going to be tough, right? And so this spring will be a lot of fun because guys will get to learn, a broad scope of, kind of what we do defensively.
Coach, among those new guys, you're also bringing Cameron and Caden Jenkins, who guys play with you at Baylor. Just what is it like bringing in familiar faces like that who already kind of know your system?
Yeah, it's been really good. Cam has been able, to bridge the gap. He's played some star. He's played some safety. He's played some dime, and so he knows, the defense pretty well, and has been able to bridge that gap. Hey, we do this because of that, or this is how we handle that motion adjustment, and that's been good for the whole back end. And then Caden brings experience. He's been in a lot of battles, been in a lot of wars in terms of being out there on that field in one-on-one situations, and he's made plays. Was a freshman All-American. So at the end of the day, we're really excited about having both of them, and they're both right here, from UNT's backyard, and so they're excited about that too.
What's your impression of North Texas been since you've gotten here?
To be honest, I love it, Brett. I really do. I think this place is awesome. Right here in the DFW, and you're close enough to where you can go to Fort Worth, you can go to Dallas. The campus itself, right, I think it's gorgeous. I like the small town feel once you get towards that downtown area. The people have been tremendous. Everybody's been great. I know we're still in the honeymoon stage, but at the end of the day, everybody's been awesome. And the players and the team have been, extremely receptive, and they've been great. A lot of great attitudes, and so. I'm excited about this place, and look forward to this 2026 season.
Was there a connection that brought you here?
So Coach Neil Brown was the hottest thing out on the market as offensive coordinator in 2013 at the University of Kentucky. And Coach Bradley Del Pivito was the safeties coach and special teams coordinator. And Chad Scott was the running backs coach. And Tommy Maynard was the receivers coach. And I was the lowest man on the totem pole as a defensive analyst GA.
Yeah, so we're working on getting to know Coach Brown here a little bit. What's he been like to work with over the years?
He's been great, and somebody asked me about this today. For an offensive head coach, he's about as much down the middle as you'll see from a head coach in terms of he's the offensive play caller, if you will. He's the offensive, he's very involved, you know what I mean, in terms of offensive football. And but at the same time, right, he's involved on defense as well. And he gives us feedback and he gives us what we need. And a lot of times head coaches that are involved on one side of the ball or the other, they'll really kind of pick a side and they'll kind of lean to that side. And the defense may not know that guy, you know what I mean, or vice versa. And sometimes that's not great. But I think with Coach Brown, it's like the opposite. You know what I mean? He's in there in defensive unit meetings, and he's listening, and he's echoing things that we're coaching and we're saying. He's down there in a tackling drills practice too, coaching his butt off. I've loved it, man. It's been awesome, and so really excited about him and the role that he's in.
Coach, I know Baylor, those opportunities for you to call plays as a coordinator.
Yes, sir.
Just what's your kind of insight into how play calling is kind of work on the defensive side here?
Yeah, good question. I can't really speak for offense. I mean, I know I said that about Coach Brown earlier. I don't know what that's really, to be honest, going to look like. But I know defensively, I'm going to work throughout the course of the week with our staff. I think we have a tremendous staff, so I'm going to lean on those guys for ideas and, hey, what from our system and from our packages, you know what I mean, do we need to pull? So we're going to break those responsibilities up study-wise, and then we'll come up with a great plan, and then on game day we'll roll. And I'm pretty excited about that tremendous amount of help I feel like defensively with the staff members that we have.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right, man. You mentioned that you're glad to be back. Why are you glad to be back in North Texas?
I told somebody the other day, out of all the places I've coached, this is going to be my 18th season coaching. I had my most fun and my fondest memories here at North Texas. And so when I had the opportunity to come back and work for Coach Brown, be back in Denton County and raise my family here, raise my kids here, this is home for us. My kids started elementary school here. My oldest is about to start middle school next year, so they felt like they were coming home, and it's just been an awesome transition back to Denton County.
I was going to say, you just kind of developed that feeling that this was home while you were there the first time?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as you grow through this profession, when you're a young coach, you're always pursuing opportunities to try to grow yourself and your goals and aspirations. But kids change that, and I've now got 3 kids, and my priority is them. And so being able to do what I love to do in an area where I want to be, and be with an awesome coaching staff that Coach Brown's put together is a win-win situation for me.
Yeah, you come back as the run game coordinator. I know you spent some time here as the offensive coordinator. You went to another school as an offensive coordinator. I feel like you're kind of coming back to your roots of what you do well and what you excel at.
Absolutely. And for me, I'm always in a growth mindset. And the opportunity to work with Coach Brown, he's called plays for 17 years. I've called plays as an offensive coordinator in Division I football for 4. So there's a ton of growth that's going to happen for me in my time here. And to me, it doesn't really matter what the title is. I'm all about helping the team win.
Yeah, and you guys were so great at running the ball when you were here the last time. I mean, what's the process like now? Do you have enough feel for what you've got to work with and who your running backs will be and how you'll be in the run game?
Yeah, really excited about the group that we've put together. And I can tell you this, I know it was daunting when we got here with the amount of transition that happened from a roster standpoint. But the guys that we've been able to bring in here, we have some big physical offensive linemen. We went out and got a couple really good tight ends. Our running back room is coming together, and so I feel really good about where we're going to be in the run game.
Yeah, who's going to be some of those guys that carry the load in the running game as far as running?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out. We're 4 practices in, and we're challenging those guys, and we're installing at not a crazy pace right now. I don't want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. We're going to be really good at running the ball in between the tackles. We're going to be really good in our supplemental run game. But we also want to take the time to install it the right way with the right technique and fundamentals.
Yeah, and Jaheim has such the great history here when he's coming off the injury. Now, Coach Brown was saying you guys are going to take it slow with him. your impression of where he's at?
Yeah, we just got to take it slow. He's getting a ton of mental reps. He's in every meeting. He's going through our walkthroughs. He's really locked into what we're doing. You'll see him sometimes on the practice field standing about 8 yards behind the running back that's about to get the ball and going through his footwork and in pass pro scanning his responsibilities. So I think he's done a really good job for a guy that's not practicing, being ready, keeping himself mentally sharp.
You know, Jaden Beck's returns from last year's squad, and what have you kind of seen from him? Seems like he's been getting a lot more reps this spring.
Really explosive player. I've really liked what I've seen from him. And like with all of our guys right now, we're talking about consistency. We've shown some home run ability in these first 4 practices, but we've also shown some ability to make bonehead mistakes, and that's normal. New install, new staff, new players, everybody's learning right now. But I really like what I've seen from him.
You know, and you were even here when great offenses have been formed here at North Texas. Over the past few years especially, offense has been number 1 in the country. Do you feel like there's a little bit higher expectation, a little bit more pressure to perform this season?
There's no pressure. I mean, as a football coach and as an offensive coordinator, run game coordinator, my expectation is always for us to finish top in the country. Like you said, I've been a part of that and at multiple stops of where I've been, and I dang sure don't plan on stopping now.
What do you guys have to work with at tight end?
So Max Reese is a kid that we signed out of Mississippi State. He's a senior, really talented player. I really like where he's at. Breck Long played a lot of football at South Alabama. 2 senior guys, and I think whenever I stepped into the building and realized what the tight end room looked like, we had to go get experience. And I think in college football now, you realize that experience is – in production is the best players that you can get out of the transfer portal. And so being able to go find 2 guys that had those 2 things was huge. Victor has done a great job of learning. He was a holdover from last year's team. And then Connor Vaughn's been coming off of an injury. And then we signed Drew Clemens as well, who's not practicing this spring.
Yeah, and we're obviously getting to know Coach Brown here a little bit, and you came to work with him. As you've gotten into spring practice and the offseason, what's been like to work for Coach Brown? What's he like as a guy?
Man, it's just a great environment, and he talks about that a lot. You know, we're going to work hard, and football coaches, we work a lot of hours, and we work extremely hard, and we're extremely demanding on our players. But the environment that we create, this can still be a really fun place to show up every single day, whether we're practicing, whether we're in the weight room, in the meeting room. It's just been a really good environment. It's been welcoming for my family and being able to have them running around on the practice fields at practice. And so that's what's important to me is the environment that I get to come to work in every day.
You got a new defensive coordinator, at least new to this place. I mean, what's been like to face that offense? And do you see that defense starting to come together then?
Yeah, I do. I think we've got some really good defensive players. I think schematically we're very sound defensively. I like what I'm seeing from those guys. I have a ton of respect for Coach Pallage and our defensive staff. And I think Coach Brown on both sides of the ball has just put together really good football coaches that are teaching the base techniques and fundamentals. Because when you look at college football, everybody's doing the same things. I mean, everybody's going to run inside zone with an RPO. Everybody's going to run Y cross. Every defense is going to line up in under front and bring a nickel fire. So the technique and fundamentals that go with that is really what we're focused on as a staff to separate our team from the teams we play.
Good.
Good.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, nice to meet you guys.
Questions, Brad? You want to get us started?
Yeah, hey Max, so you guys are getting a little deeper into spring practice here. How's it going?
It's going well. I think we got a really good team. We got a lot of guys coming from a lot of different places. Just need to continue to pick it up and mesh together. But I think we're meshing together well right now.
Yeah, and you've obviously came here to play for Coach Brown. What's your impression of Coach Brown been as you've gotten to know him?
He's a great coach, high energy. He's always harping that on us just to keep our energy up, not let the plays dictate our energy, but just always stand up no matter what.
You say everybody says that he's high energy. How do you see that in practice?
Man, like I said, just always getting honest about our energy. So when somebody's getting honest about our energy, you got to show it. So Coach Brown does a good job of that and making sure that we're on our stuff.
You come with a lot of experience from Mississippi State. What was that plan to come to North Texas? What was that kind of like coming here?
Yeah.
join an offense that's been so prominent these past few years?
Yeah, I mean, I had a good time at Mississippi State. I feel like I learned a lot, got to see a lot, being in the SEC and playing in front of a bunch of fans. That transition and coming here to North Texas, I mean, I feel like it makes it a lot more smooth. But, there's talented people everywhere. So just getting the opportunity to showcase what I can do and then showcase what we can do as a team I think is a huge opportunity.
One of the battles, of course, there's a lot of position battles in this team, period. But at the quarterback position, there's 3 guys. Obviously, we don't know who's going to be the starter yet. What have you kind of seen from some of those guys?
I mean, I think all 3 of them can sling the ball. Ultimately, it's the coach's decisions, but I can see all 3 of them playing, so it's a hard decision for the coaches to make.
And Chris Jimerson returns from last year. He's really small, but he's really fast. What have you kind of seen from him? How's he kind of stepped up in a role this year?
Yeah, despite his size, like Chris can sling the rock. Like I know it's you wouldn't really think so, but he can. The ball comes quick when Chris lets it go, so I think he'll be a great player.
So this far in the spring, Max, just how have you kind of seen the offense like that kind of shape up so far?
I think the offense we're coming together well. Just like early practice issues, you have your things here and there. But I think we're shaping together well. Love the offense, and I think we'll be very explosive.
You got so many new players on this team. I think you're one of like 50, 52, something like
Yeah.
that. Is this starting to come together here? You guys are getting to know each other and develop some chemistry at this point?
No, it's definitely starting to come together. I feel like nowadays the lay of the land with college football, like that's kind of what you have to adapt to with the transfer portal. So, everyone's going through the same thing that we're going through. I can't speak on anyone else, but I know that we're doing well with coming together as a unit.
Coach Blush returns as a coach on the staff. What has he kind of done to help you out, especially on that offensive staff?
Yeah, I think it's huge. It's a big reason why I decided to come here with Coach Blush. Returning here, already being here, but also being an offensive coordinator at Cal. That's a guy who's had to worry about 50 guys for a while, and now he gets to just have the tight end room with us 5 right now, or 6. So I think just getting that knowledge from him day in and day out is huge.
Yeah, and he's also the run game coordinator. You feel like that running game is going to come together here?
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It's going to be explosive. We got a lot to show.
What makes you feel like it's going to be explosive like that?
I don't want to give too much.
But the talent's there. You've got the running
talent's
backs.
definitely there. Yeah, the running backs are amazing. O-lines look really good, and then the tight end position as well. We're really deep, so I think the explosion will show on Saturdays.
You guys going to get a chance to catch the ball on this offense?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get the chance to catch it, and we'll show what we can do with it.
Who's kind of stood out to you, Max? Just specifically here on the offensive side of the ball.
Stood out. I don't have one specific person, but I'll say a unit, the offensive line. I feel like they've showed up well during the first couple of days of spring ball. I think they're a great unit, well coached, disciplined, but I think the offensive line, I know it doesn't fully answer your question, but them as a unit, I feel like really stand out.
You've been in Denton for a little bit now. Have you got a chance to go out and experience it a little bit? I know that's a lot of new transfers. I always ask that. Is that something that you've been able to experience a little bit?
I have a little food places. I haven't actually gone out or anything like that, but I've tried some food places.
Where at?
I tried Chilosos,
Yeah.
Hawaiian Bros. I never had that until I came here. That's a good one. Teriyaki Madness. I love that a lot. Kind of thing. You know what? Because coming from Starkville, Mississippi, we didn't have Cane's, so I've been at Cane's a lot too. So.
That's all I got.
All right,
Thanks,
thanks,
Max.
guys.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, sir.
How we doing? Yeah.
Brett, go ahead.
All right, Terrell, getting a little deeper into spring practice, how's it going?
Man, it's going good, man. Everybody's working. I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying every day with them. Got new guys, but they coming to work. So it's been good.
Yeah, and you guys have a new defensive coordinator. I know you're new to the system and everything. How's it coming together on that side?
Oh, man, it's coming great. It's coming well. We picking on to what we got to do early, fast, and quick. Everybody's knowing their assignments. One day at a time, though. We still got some stuff we got to clean up. But other than that, it's been great.
What's the scheme like?
Fast and physical. That's it. Fast and physical. That's all we on. That's the scheme. That's what we do. That's how we work.
And Coach Pallage has come in here as a new defensive coordinator. What's your impression of him been so far?
Man, he's just an on-time type of guy. He makes sure everything's on time. He makes sure everything is done to a T. He makes sure that we stay on top of our job and do what we need to do.
What's he like personally?
Personally, he's a great guy. He's a fun guy. He's not always serious. He he brings the energy. He makes sure everybody can come in and they want to work. They want to work. We always want to work for him, and we want to just play for him. He's a great guy.
Yeah, you guys made such progress last year defensively. Do you feel like you can continue to build on what you accomplished last year in a new system?
Oh yeah, we're gonna continue to build. I mean, last year was a great season, but we on to the next. We got some great pieces in, and we're gonna continue to do what we do.
You're one of the few guys that did return on the defense staff from last year. What was kind of making you want to stay here?
Oh man, it's just I enjoy the school, man. I enjoy like the people around here. I enjoy the atmosphere. I love UNT. Like I enjoy just playing for the school, and I just hope I can continue to be a good piece for this school and just continue to do my job.
One of the positions that North Texas brought a lot of players in was the defensive back room. What have you kind of seen from some of those guys? Who's kind of stood out overall in this defense?
Man, overall in the defense, I'm gonna go with 24. I gotta remember that boy's name, but he been balling. He been balling. He been ball hawk. He get to the ball, man. He's physical. Like I'm enjoying all of them though. I can't really just give you one. Like we got 8. We got some dogs all across the board. But yeah, everybody's been working.
Well, as a returner, just what was kind of like that the whole experience of previous coaching staff in the roster, entering the transfer coach for you as a player, and then what was kind of your conversations with your support system as to why you wanted to stay?
When all that was going on, I just continued. I know what I was going to do off the rip, so I was just, my support staff, like my mom and dad, I just told them like, we're gonna stay down, we're gonna continue to build where we at, because I love it here and I'm good where I'm at. So, I just continue to stay here. I just wanted to stay and play for the new coaching staff, and old coaching staff, we talked. It was all all love, and we just kept it pushing.
When Neil Brown came in, what was kind of his pitch to you guys, and what parts of it kind of resonated with you?
When he came in, he made sure we understood that we're gonna work. It's gonna be hard and physical, and nothing's gonna be given to us. So, we took that. Me personally, I took it as like he's coming in here to make us work, and he's gonna work us hard, and I love stuff like that. So I'm all for it.
What were your kind of conversations like with the other returning players on this roster as well from last year?
I told him we know what we got to do. We know the job. We've been here before. It might be a little new around other pieces, but we good. We've been here, so we know what we're doing.
It seems like the motto is bringing in a lot of players with experience and from the portal. What is it like in playing with guys like Aaron Alexander, the linebacker? There's a lot of those guys up front with a lot of experience, especially at the P5 level.
Oh man, it's amazing. They come in, they bring that fire, they bring that juice. I love guys that bring energy when they come out here and play, because I always got energy, so I need that with me. So yeah, they come in and they do their job, and I love it.
So kind of on the defensive side, the returners that are here, didn't see as much play time as some players last year. What do you feel like they kind of have left to prove, and what do you feel like this defense is kind of left to show?
They just got to keep working. Right now, everybody's trying to fight. So, we just got to keep working. Everybody's got to do their own individual job, and that's just, be the best. And you gotta understand it's a competing game. You gotta compete every day. So right now, everybody's just competing.
How's it kind of gelling here with so many new places and new players and coaches and everything else?
Man, it's great, man. Like it's not like anybody's bigger than anybody. Like we all come together. Everybody's laughs and jokes every morning. We wake up, we ready to go to work with each other. So it's been amazing.
Anything else?
All right, cool.
We good? Let's go.